Welcome back for another segment. Lots of great things to learn about the YMCA here. Typically, when you think of the Y, you tend to think of treadmills and exercise equipment and swimming. But the stories we're going to tell today go beyond any form of physical activity, but yet still has a powerful impact in the community. So we are joined again with the Executive Director, Mr. Dave Nash, and with Karen, whose last name I don't know, but she will tell you here in a few seconds. So Dave, if you would open up for me and just share with folks the stories we're going to talk about.
Terrific, and welcome back, everybody. We're really glad that you've joined us again this week. So we're going to talk a little bit this week about the spirit piece of the spirit, mind, and body that we talk about in the Y itself. So we're going to share some stories about Center for Working Families and the United Way support that we have for that, about Family Connect, the program we have here in the Y to try to help generations of families be able to improve their self and their lives, and be able to talk about Promise Indiana itself, a new program that's here in Morgan County through the Y. All things that really are helping build hope for the future for families in our community. And Karen DeWitt's going to talk a little bit about the program because she leads many of these programs here at the Y.
Thanks, Dave. So I started back in 2018, and when I'd gotten here, the Centers for Working Families aspect had been going for about a year. So I was tasked with being the Community Needs Coordinator. And what the Community Needs Coordinator does is go out into the community and work with individuals, adults who are struggling financially. I do financial coaching, career coaching. Those things can entail budgeting, creating a household budget, pulling credit reports, setting goals, and assessing those goals as we work towards those goals. As far as career building, we're looking at things such as job retention skills. You know, how do I get that job? How do I keep that job? Obviously, job search skills, filling out those Indeed applications. I've worked with many people on just how to fill those out appropriately so that they can be seen and the job is hopefully theirs. At the interview, they get the interview and can get that job. So the goal of the position is to, of course, elevate people out of that poverty sector. I'm working with individuals who are kind of in between poverty and what's called ALICE. ALICE is a term for individuals who are asset limited, income constrained, but yet employed. So I'm seeing individuals who are, they're working, they're just not making quite enough if they should have an emergency come along, or for savings for the future.
You've even talked a little bit about with some of the people that you're meeting that fit that ALICE description then too, about many of them are even working multiple jobs.
That's true.
But since they're part-time jobs, it doesn't allow them to have something like the medical insurance that many have through their workplace. How do you help?
That's true. A lot of what I'm seeing is an underemployment issue. Two jobs that are $10 an hour jobs instead of one job that's $20 an hour. On average, a single person needs a job that makes $12 an hour just to make that bare bones budget. A family of four needs a job that makes closer to $30 an hour just to meet the bare bones budget. That's not including savings or emergencies. So what we're trying to do is get people towards furthering their education, so that they can get that job that provides for that extra savings for those emergency funds, so they can move from working two jobs into one job and spend more time with their families then. So
that's wonderful, and that's one of the goals certainly that we want to see then too, is people to build the community, to build their families as well. And one of the things that we realized as Karen was working with adults in the Centers for Working Families with this program, and of course we have our child care programs in place, was that we are working with multi-generations of the same families in many cases. What did we come up with for that, Karen?
Yeah, so in 2019, we were able to provide programming through the Family Opportunity Fund grant that United Way offered, and create a program called Family Connect. What Family Connect does is connect those multi-generational families. So we've got the children, we've got the adults. Sometimes we even see grandparents in the picture that we're working with as well. So what we're trying to do is raise people out of that generational poverty that we're seeing, just cycle after cycle after cycle of families living in poverty, and teach them financial stability skills, get the children started with a good education base. Research shows that if they have that higher base in education in the beginning, pre-K, they're going to be more successful further on down the line in their education. If parents are educated, that sets a better example for the children. So they're going to see that and lead more productive lives. So that Family Connect program works in the 2-generational aspect in that way.
Tell us a little bit about Indiana Promise, Dave, if you would.
That's Promise Indiana Morgan
Promise
County
Indiana.
is something that's new to Morgan County, and it's something that the Indiana Youth Institute leads throughout the state of Indiana. But by adding this to Morgan County, we are working with the different school systems in Morgan County, both public and private schools, to be able to help families and the students in elementary school to start building 529 plans. And the 529 plans are the educational savings plans that help save for post-secondary education. Now, that education could be anywhere from the traditional 4-year college to technical school to just job training that would take place after high school. But that funding, that money can be used for that. And the great thing about Promise Indiana is that the community is matching that investment that the family is making. So for the first $25 that the family is able to invest in the 529 plan, the community is matching that with another $25. So we'd start with $50 right away in the 529 plan. The school systems, when we were working on getting this started, advised us to start with kindergartners. For one thing, because kindergartners aren't being tested like the rest of the 1 through 12 age group is, but it's also an opportunity to begin getting them thinking about what they're going to do when they grow up and how they will get the training they need in order to be successful in that role and in that goal. And we know they're going to change their minds multiple times between kindergarten and the time they graduate from high school. But it's that opportunity to begin building that hope and that dream for their future.
My understanding is that a kid with a 529 plan, and most people may tend to think of this for richer families, but even from poorer families, just having a 529 plan shifts the entire mindset around college and thinking about getting an education. Shifts it not just for the kid, but for the family and then for the school itself, the teachers, in terms of how they teach. So it's a powerful tool.
It is. It makes a huge difference. And the kids that have a 529 plan, no matter how much money is in that savings account, are 4 times more likely to go to college than kids who don't.
And just the whole notion that we would start with kindergartners telling them to think about their future and to project their future right now is just such a powerful thing.
It sure is.
It's really neat.
And it's an opportunity for them to be able to think about what they want to be when they grow up and dream a little bit and have that hope. It's heartbreaking when you hear an elementary school student say, I won't ever go to college, or I'm not smart enough for college, or I don't have enough money for college. By starting that 529 plan at a young age, it gives them the opportunity to start building that hope and those dreams for their futures.
It's powerful. So we talked about the Center for Working Families. Within that is the, tell me, Connect again.
The Family Connect
Family
program.
Connect. And then we're on, I say it differently than you. You call it Promise Indiana.
Promise Indiana, Morgan
Promise
County.
Indiana. And I hope that you guys can see the 3 very tangible, powerful ways in which the Y is building a muscle. Just not a physical muscle, but we're building the muscle of sustainability of a family. We're building the muscle of getting kids to think about their future and to see a future way in advance. And that's way more powerful than perhaps maybe the physical things that you think about when you tend to think of the Y's name. And another reason to support the GALEP.
Excellent. And we really want to thank our sponsors who are helping us to be able to offer this weekly program to you. Then to IU Health Morgan and Morgan Insurance have been wonderful in being supportive of this program. Thank you to them, and come back next week for the next segment, vignette, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah. So you guys reference United Way too. It seems like you have a very strong relationship with United Way.
We do.
In terms of, especially with the Center for Working Families and Connect Families.
Family Connect.
Yeah, I'm going to get it in 6 weeks. Trust me, folks. I don't have it yet. But anything you want to say about United Way?
Yeah, United Way is, we're a United Way agency, and we're certainly have been supported very strongly by United Way. So it is wonderful the support that they have had for us. They actually partnered with the Lilly Foundation and some other organizations to provide some extra funding to organizations, to nonprofit organizations in the greater Indianapolis area over the past year during COVID, just to make sure that our programs were able to continue. The Center for Working Families and the Family Connect, which is funded through the United Way Family Opportunity Fund, are both programs that started pre-COVID but continue now, and we can see even more so how important they are for the community and for the people that we need to support in Morgan County.
Well, outstanding. We look forward to telling you more stories about the work that the Y does and how it impacts the community. And we want you to check back in next week. Look forward to seeing you guys again later.